Most of you in this room are probably on his team, whether you know it or not. And if you don't know it, it's because you haven't been paying attention, because I will tell you, he takes the time with his distributors. This man genuinely cares about every single person on his team and really has been there and made some amazing sacrifices to do what he can to benefit your lives. So I will, please believe me when I say, do not take his time for granted. If you are in this market and you have him in your back pocket, do not take him for granted, because there are people all around the world that are on his team right now that are vying for his time. And if he's here, you're lucky. If he's not flying to Hawaii or flying to Washington or flying all around the world to work with those other teams, it's because you're keeping him busy. So I'm sure he'd like to stay here a little bit longer and spend more time with his kids, so keep him busy here. That would make him very, very happy. So with that, I'd ask you to please help me bring up to the front of the room, Mr. Steve Niumatalolo.
Wow, Jennifer Hawkins. She inspires me, I'll tell you that much. Just look at her. Right? I mean, look, I have to turn to this page because she's the best looking one in the magazine. Right? Jennifer Hawkins, you guys, would you please help me give my appreciation? Get this guy off the screen. Okay. Well, you know, here's what's crazy, you guys, is you know, Jennifer talked about us being around for about 16 months now. And do you guys really know what that means, to be around for 16 months? That really means that every single one of you has the opportunity to lead the expansion of this company. And that's incredible to me. You know, I was actually scared stiff to not get involved here, because I've seen what's happened in the industry. I've seen what's happened, you know, to one berry juice companies that are in the valley, right? They went from zero to hero so quickly, and a lot of people got wealthy along the way. A lot of people got started too, you know. And you know, when I saw this opportunity, I know when Jennifer saw this opportunity, I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? We're here, we're first. We get a chance to be able to, you know, go out and proclaim, and we get a chance to be able to, you know, let everybody know that, you know, here's the well, come and drink. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, you guys, I got to tell you something. The one thing that I noticed about Jennifer back there, first of all, that was the fastest presentation that I've ever seen, but the most thorough. Would you agree with me? Yes. I learned so much sitting back there, you know, and a lot of times people are afraid to come to these kinds of meetings because, you know, the next thing you know, you're hearing about the yin and the yang and the shming and the shmang, and next thing you know, it's 2-3 hours later, right? And you're thinking, okay, you know, I never even been to school, and now I know all these doctor terms, right? But Jennifer did such an incredible job. And I got to tell you, the one thing that I picked up on and why people are successful in our business, in network marketing, is what she possessed. It wasn't what was coming out of her mouth that was key. It was how it was coming out of her mouth. Would you guys agree? Would you agree with me that she's got passion? Holy smokes, like, I mean, talk about, like, you know, spunk, right? Yeah. And I gotta tell you something, right? That has everything to do with winning right now in our economy. I was driving here today, you know, and I'll be frank with you, you know, I mean, I've been running from this morning, and I'm a single dad, and, you know, my kids call me on the way here, Dad, when are we gonna see you again? And I'm like, oh, you didn't have to tell me that, because now I don't want to be here. I'd rather be there with you, right? I'd rather turn around and say, Jennifer, you got the meeting. I'm going to go see my kids because they're dying for me and I'm dying for them too. But, you know, here's the thing that I was thinking about. As I thought about, you know, here's what I love about coming to these meetings. Is, for me, it gives me a lot of hope. And would you agree with me that hope right now is probably the biggest commodity, right? That we all need in today's society, today's economy. Would you agree? Yes or no? Yes. And just listening to Jennifer, you know, exude that hope, exude that faith, exude that confidence in what's happening, and just to be able to be a part of this now. I mean, this is the tool right now that validates everything that we've been talking about. This validates all the work that Jennifer and I have been putting into this opportunity since we walked in back in August, when we didn't have a PowerPoint presentation, we didn't have anybody driving a Cadillac Escalade, we didn't have a magazine, Your Business at Home, that's in over 15,000 bookstores right now across the country, And all they're doing is validating the top companies that people should be looking at in the year 2009, in the year that is the most opportune time to get involved in network marketing. Yes or yes? Yes. Absolutely. And so this right here, I gotta tell you, I can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. I mean, because here's what's going to happen for every single one of you that are here tonight, okay? And all I'm here to tell you is how to get you out the gates very quickly. You know, I've been asked many times, even by Mary Louise, Steve, how did you make over $100,000 in your very first month? And I said, you know, there was no science to it. I didn't sit down, right? I didn't draft up a proposal of how I was going to do this. I didn't make charts. Okay, I didn't go home and try to figure out, okay, if I get X amount of people to do X amount of this, then I'm going to make this amount of dollars. Would you agree? Yes, are you guys with me?
Yes.
Okay? Because I'll tell you something. I run into some of the most intelligent people. And they want from me, give me the numbers. I'm a numbers person. I said, listen, when you're dealing in a numbers or when you're dealing in a people business, it's really hard to factor numbers. I was once a financial advisor, and that's all I did all day long. When I sat down with people, I said, okay, here you go. Here's the plan. Hoping that, you know, the gamblers in the marketplace are going to gamble right. Okay? Hopefully we can reach this objective here. What's your risk tolerance, right? Those are the questions that I ask people. And I come into network marketing, right? And I see young people like Brandon Meredith who are just succeeding, you know, to great levels. And this was before he was a big-time banker too. You know, I mean, he just became a big-time banker. But you know, I see him, you know, come home from a mission and just embrace network marketing and have tremendous success. And I think to myself, well, why is that? It must be because Brandon has kept things simple. It must be because our business is simple. Our business is not about going and writing up charts and pie graphs and making out estimations of here's what you need to do to make X amount of dollars. I'll tell you how I made $100,000 in my very first 30 days. I was so stinking hungry. Divorced, broke, $30 in my bank account. I was so hungry there wasn't a soul that I wouldn't talk to. If I saw you, I was going to talk to you. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Crazy question. Are you open to making a little extra money? Well, yes. I always know everybody's going to say yes. If somebody told me no, I'm like, man, what do you do? I need to come work with you then. Right? But no one's telling me no. Right? Everyone's saying yes. So I talked to just as many people as I possibly could. I said just as little as possible to as many people as possible. Does that make sense? I said as little as possible to as many people as possible, because you have to understand something, right? This support here simply means you're sitting in the support. How many of you are distributors? Okay, there's the support, right? You just heard from an executive director, an Escalade driver, soon to be multi-millionaire, Jennifer Hawkins, right? Talk about our opportunity, and guess what? Me being brand new, I mean, look, when Jennifer and I came in, and I love telling the story, even told it today, I was like, we had dry erase boards up in front of the room, and I was drawing circles. Look, guys, here's you. Go get 3, and they get 3, and you get $100 every single time somebody comes in. Who's in? Everybody's, yeah, me, okay, let's go.